3 buying mistakes we're trying to help you avoid. So are you playing checkers or chess in this home buying process? Let's talk about it and let's go. Hi there and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if you're back, we're glad to see you here again. My name is Verenice. I'm a local real estate broker here on the Central Coast and its surrounding areas. And in this channel, we talk about everything that there is to know to live, work, sleep, and play here on the Central Coast. And if you're thinking about relocating here to the Central Coast, then you're in the right spot. So we're getting calls from people just like you and asking about the area. So we're trying to give you some videos to save you some time and money and see if this is the right place for you in California or, anywhere within the county, if this is a place for you. So if this is something that you think will help you in your research, be sure and hit that like button. That helps other people find the same information. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our future videos. And be sure and leave us a comment if you want any further information or have any questions for us. Okay, so we are in the first quarter of 2022. And just because we've been seeing some things happen time and time again, and not only in our business, but other colleagues that I have within the area and even other states when I'm referring out people in my company or other companies, just wanting to give you some information locally and nationally of what's going on and what can help you secure a home in this market right now, helping you avoid these buyers' mistakes right now.
And people make mistakes
that are happening and things that maybe you're not thinking about. What we're seeing today is not what we saw in traditional times of real estate. None of us, no matter how long you've been in real estate, no matter how many transactions you've done in the past, this whole industry has changed, and it's changed quickly, and it's not for the weak.
Oh, you weak man.
So right now, you really need to have a very strong advocate for you, that you're feeling that connection, that you're feeling is going to really go to bat for you in the process. So I'm hoping to give you some nuggets here. Stay to the very end because I'm going to share a couple of things at that point that are a little bit different than what the mistakes are, but some tools, some things that you might want to think about as you're going through the process with your lender, your realtor, or if you want to reach out to us, we're obviously happy to help you. But the name of the game is like, let's try to make this happen. Let's have you win the house or the property that you are trying to get in our area and even in other areas. So the first thing is, be sure that you know the details of your money. Your money being, do you know all of the fees in your mortgage loan that you're going to get? So what we're seeing is some people aren't aware that there's closing costs.
I did not know that.
In addition to some assessments on some investment properties, things of that nature. As you're looking into your loan, you need to be sure that if you're doing something online and you're going, wow, they did that so fast, the fees are so low, you need to read the fine print. I mean, I think that common sense would tell you that nothing is for free, that nobody's giving any money away. Right now, there's a lot of things that you need to be comparing in rates and fees, all those things. And I'm finding that people aren't really paying attention to that. And that's unfortunate, So you're already feeling the pressure of high prices. You're feeling the pressure of urgency to do all these things. So you really need to set the time to see what is your money. What are you doing with your money? Do you know the details of your money? Even with cash buyers, we have found that we are getting offers from cash buyers that need to pull things out of stock, and you're going to get hit with a percentage to pay Uncle Sam. So some people aren't aware of that, and by the time they've gotten all emotionally wrapped up into, moving ahead on a property. Then they go to the financial person. They didn't realize there could be up to a 30% hit on that money that they're pulling out that they've been saving over years of time. So if it's not the right time for you, that can be very substantial, that amount, that hit that you're going to pay Uncle Sam.
I tell you, Uncle Sam.
And you need to pay attention to those things. Trying to be really honest of what I'm seeing. Fairly highly intelligent people, whether you're savvy, first time, doesn't matter how many homes you've bought in the past. A lot of things have changed. So we really need to have conversations of who you're using for your lender and what the fees are, so that you don't make any buying mistakes in this process that's already super intensely, highly pressured right now, more than we've ever seen. And in this year, it has not changed from the past. So there's no slowing down in the demand from buyers, and buyers are actually getting even more aggressive with their offers. So we want to avoid any hiccups, any mistakes with you making a purchase. So we're going to go over a couple of things to be sure you have it really dialed in. We also have to be paying attention to the interest rates, as we are seeing all across the country. The rates are going up. So that has made a difference from somebody from before. In a couple months, if you've been at it and have been losing properties and haven't been keeping up on the rates, which your lender should, and the realtor you're working with should, you really need to be having those conversations with the lender about the rate increases and how that affects you on every couple weeks. Also, if not on a weekly basis, everything's changing in that dynamic, very quickly. Also, when you're dealing with an outside lender from the area that you're trying to purchase, it really can put some big hiccups in the process. They're not familiar with the local ordinances that are needed or local guidelines for the areas. So we're finding that, unfortunately, some of the out-of-town lenders at the end of the day are not being able to perform. So just really factor that in as you're evaluating who you're going to be using for your loan and what exactly is going on with your money, what fees are being charged by these lenders. So we really need to take a look at that, and we are here to help you with that as well.
I'm here to help.
I have my space of the real estate and to help you solidify and get our contract accepted. But I am also a team player with your lender and the other entities that are needed to close our deal. Escrow, inspectors, the county if we need to find anything out, what other vendors that we need to get involved to do all of our inspections, if that is something that you're going to be wanting to do. And we'll talk about that a little bit further here. Again, be sure that you know what your money is doing and what fees are being charged before you even start looking at property. That is number one. Don't let that blow up in your face. It's going to be super frustrating. So slow down, take a look at your money, see what it's doing for you, and make sure that there are no hidden fees, no hidden costs that are going to surprise you at the very end and just cause a too much frustration. So just have those ducks in a row. That is super critical. Okay, so number two would be, what is your contingency strategy? So in a purchase of a property, in a transaction, there are contingencies that play in the contract. So you as the buyer can have appraisal contingencies for your loan contingencies for your loan, inspection contingencies, right? Those are the three pretty big ones. So the inspection contingencies have to do with the home sale, the inspections, home inspection, reviewing all of the escrow documents, everything pertaining to the property, which is very important. And then you have also your appraisal and loan contingencies, which kind of pretty much come hand in hand. However, you can break all that apart And right now, buyers are being very aggressive in this arena.
You signed a very aggressive non-disclosure agreement.
So we're having buyers that have lost several homes already because it's been so competitive for the last 2 years that if they've kind of researched a certain area and they know that they want that, they'll remove their inspection contingencies. If they're very comfortable in the amount that they're putting down and the value of the properties, because we're looking at things going up literally on a weekly basis, that they can remove your appraisal contingency and beat out another buyer. So are you comfortable with that? Have you talked to your lender about closing the appraisal gap? So these are things I'm trying to give you in a nutshell, some terms, some things that you might start thinking about what your comfort level is of how aggressive you're going to be in this market. And the other thing is that right now, if you're just strictly looking at the comps, the comparable sales, it's a little tricky. It's even a little tricky for us as listing agents on the listing prices because everything is going up so quickly. You need to evaluate what those particular neighborhoods are doing and what the potential could be in increase in price. If someone offers $200,000 over, that's the new comp for the next month, for the next sale in that subdivision. And it could be vice versa. Some people could start getting a little bit of the greed factor in the seller's market, and we are seeing some reductions. So that's exciting.
That's so exciting!
But basically, some sellers, something could sell in the neighborhood for under $1 million, and then they put some upgrades or the backyard's better or something, and they think they should get a couple $100,000 more. Well, in any market, every market, this is the one thing, the buyer makes the price. Whatever the willing and able buyer is able to perform and wants to pay for that property, that is what sets the price. So we are just seeing some really crazy things that have never been seen before. So I'm really trying to prepare you that this is the first quarter and that has not changed. So you really need to gear up and have good conversations with your realtor and your lender on what your contingency strategies will be in this market. Will you take the property in as-is condition? Are you comfortable with that? You can still get a home inspection. You have avenues to explore for your time periods. But if the property seems in a good condition and you're comfortable with that, then that's something that you kind of need to digest and see if you're comfortable removing some of these contingencies. So you have those appraisal, inspections, and obviously your loan. So, those are things that you really need to have a really good lender and a local lender. Really, when we have those conversations and when we have the lenders that we know, we can really dive into that. It's going to say that out-of-town lenders can't do it. I know a lot of very, very good, smart, high-performing out-of-town lenders that are doing very well in many states. It's just you really got to have that person that's really dialed in with your situation and what strategies you can come up with.
Let's talk a little strategy, guys.
Strategy.
So whatever contingency strategies that you can come up with, your lender is super critical. So be sure that's, again, a piece that you're playing chess rather than checkers when it comes to the loan and what you're going to offer that seller.
Let's play chess.
Another interesting thing that we're seeing a lot right now too is that sellers are wanting to close on the transaction with you and then have a rent back time. So you wouldn't necessarily be able to move into the home right away, but that you would secure the property, right? So that's something that you might want to be thinking about: storage units, pods for moving if that's required. For the sale. So that's coming up more and more. So people are needing to secure the property sale. The sellers need to secure that sale and then move forward with their move and need some time in the property. So are you comfortable with that contingency that seller needs? So that's something also that you need to think about with your realtor. If you're finding this information of value, please be sure and hit that like button that helps other people just like you find this information. And then hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our future videos. We're trying really hard to give you some good information. And then be sure and leave us a comment and let us know what things you need to have information about. Whatever it may be, let us know what we can find out for you. Okay, so the third one that I kind of wanted to mention is that what we're seeing as I'm having conversations with buyers and sellers is how do we rely on these sales, these comparables, because things are changing so rapidly in pricing, like I said, on the weekly to the monthly. So when things have gone up year over year, so we've seen, from 2020 to 2021, we've seen 20 to 30%, 18 to, just depending on the pocket areas. It's a gauge in there, particularly here on the Central Coast. So, every year you wait, that increase is happening. And then on the monthly basis, when we're working with the buyer for 6 months, 3 months, 1 month, or a seller's site selling from last year to this year, they've already made more gain anyway. So it's easy for them, but for you as the buyer, like, we're never going to have our buyers overpay. We're going to have to figure out what you want to compete with and what you're willing to pay according to your needs and the market, and what's happening in the particular area. So my point is, with these, relying on the comparables is a mistake, because it's changing so quickly. I cannot emphasize that. And that's another factor, that time is of essence.
Obviously, time is of the essence.
If you're a buyer seeing something 3 months ago to now, it's probably not going to be there, depending on the product and the house. But most likely, as you're all seeing, most places have 1 month to 2 month supply of inventory, if not less. And things are moving quicker, and there's at least 2 to 7 buyers. We've heard still last month, I heard in a surrounding area 19 offers. I know some states I'm hearing 40, 50. It's mind-blowing. So I'm saying this to prepare you, because again, I'm not trying to push you into a sale. I don't want that. I've been doing this for 20 years. I want you to refer me to clients, refer me to your friends, refer me to your family. And I am a referral-based, business, and most of us are. So it's not to close a transaction for me. I'm just telling you the fast truth. I'm not going to milk it to you and say, okay, yeah, take your time, go home and think about it. I'm telling you, I can give you the information of what's happening, and I can find out what's happening in that particular transaction, which is going to lead me to my next point. So don't leave, because I have something I really want to share with you. Is that, again, when you're looking at the comparable sales and you're relying on that, it can change, or if you're looking at a particular property, that's the only one like that, and there's 10 offers to it, whatever the one sold in that neighborhood last month isn't going to matter, because whoever pays the most for it is going to get it and give the terms to the seller that they would want. So again, I'm just trying to save you some time and money, some agony, some frustration for everybody. We will take our time. We will work with our team. I have staff now that can get things in place, so that if we see something right away, we want to jump on it. Paperwork can get done really quickly. So you just really need to factor these 3 things so you don't make the mistake and lose that property that could be the perfect fit for you. Okay, so a really important point that I want to make to you is that get buyers saying, okay, well, how do we compete with the cash buyer? How do we, will we be seeing this in a month later, if a certain amount of properties came up at a certain price? but they only went at maybe 25,000 or 100,000 or 50 or nothing at all. My advice to you, or my knowledge to you of what's going on today in today's market, is there's a lot of back-end research we need to do before we present your offer on every single property. So wouldn't you agree that we're all different in our needs and our terms and our criteria for leaving the area or selling our homes or what we're going to purchase?
Everybody wants something different.
If you can just follow me here. So everybody has a different need. Every seller is different in what they want to be doing, what they want to accomplish, where they're going, their age. So a young family or a young executive couple or a retirement couple aren't all going to react and transact the same way. Does that not make sense? The families are going to be stressed out. They have the kids, they got to pack, they got to do this. The older of a retired couple, or are people that are in our retirement age, some of them don't DocuSign, some of them need to take their time on the contract. They don't want pressure. They don't want you throwing things at them, and need to see their realtor's eyeballs. They're not going to DocuSign. They want email. They want the paper in their hand. They want to read everything. And then there's the couple that says, whatever, give me the papers, show me what's going on, and let's do this, right? So I think we all agree we're all created differently. Everybody has their own needs and terms, and every house has its own story. But here's the thing, we need to find you the one property that's going to work for you. So my point is that as your real estate broker, as the consumer, you need to have really great conversations with the people you're working with to see what we need to do to win the house, to win the property.
Win.
So again, just understand that that's where the relationships are very important with the realtors that you're working with, that they're really full-time and have the networking going on, so that we can more good relationships you have, or the better the agent is. I'm fine. Go out there and ask, hey, do you know Verenice, or do you know John? What do they like? I mean, I challenge you to do that, to go out and open houses and as you're working with me or whatever, like I'm fine with that, because I know what I can offer and my reputation. And when we're going to bring an offer to somebody in this area, or refer out, whatever the deal is, we know what we can bring to the table. And it's very important that you have someone that finds out what the sellers need. Some sellers don't even want you to write a personal letter about what you're all about. And if you do, they won't even look at it. It's called a buyer's love letter. Some sellers don't even want to see it. They're like, show me the money. Just, I want to know the net. Some people do. Just go ahead and send it over. But if you don't find that stuff out first, or that they need rent back, or that these items are for sale, these are not, there's so many details for each individual property. So again, there is a lot of back end work that needs to be done ahead of time, and that's where somebody needs to be looking at the market, going out and checking out what's going on, what agent's doing what agent's requiring what does that seller need? That's the most important. What's important to that seller? What are the terms that's going to get you the home? And if you're comfortable with that, it's like full steam ahead. We need to become a really great team together to get you that house, to win you that home, and making sure that we know what that seller needs and what their story is. So because we're going to win you that home. All right, friends. So the only way that we can help you find that sweet spot here on the Central Coast is you've got to reach out. You got to give us a call, text, email, whatever you need to do to get a hold of us. Day, evening, weekends, it does not matter, because we have your back when you're moving to the Central Coast, California. So until the next video, we'll catch you later.